Morning, guys. Another day, another blessing. Um, so today's conversation was centered around vulnerability. How do you accept that you're vulnerable? How do you deal with being vulnerable? And is it okay to actually mask your vulnerability? And this basically started with me getting an analogy of how when I wake up, I'm getting ready to go to work. Which I'm actually late. You dress up, to leave. If you're looking at it from a perspective of you getting out of the house, when you leave the house you dress up, but when you come into the house or your home you dress down. You put on your makeup, you put on your heels, you put on your suits, your ties, your best jeans or whatever to go out. But when you come in, you want to take everything off and be what you feel like is the most comfortable version of yourself. And how this relates to vulnerability is that we tend to put on that facade of I'm strong. We tend to put on the mask and makeup and heels of I'm strong to the outside world. But when we come in, we take all those shields off and then we're bare. We're naked with the truth. It's just us and the truth. And from that, I questioned why I'm being shown this analogy, and his response was basically, you need to understand that what you're looking to when you're feeling vulnerable is not enough. you know and what we do tend to do as humans is to look to our emotions about us being vulnerable. You go through trouble, because I actually looked up the definition of trouble. It's nothing but a synonym for other words that define how you feel. It's got anxiety, worry, stress, dis-ease, disorder, which are all things that you can feel. But if you just look at the fact that you're feeling like less, if you're feeling like you're not enough, then what are you using to reassure yourself? What are you using to look to as your beacon to take you home, to find the light? What is your lighthouse, basically? And the answer that came from there was the fact that you need more than to just look inward. It's okay to tell yourself words of affirmation, but sometimes you need a source. You need to look to a certain thing that is beyond yourself. And for me, that is the word of God in my life. you know there are days where you're feeling so vulnerable, it's hard to tell yourself that you are the son of a living God and your provisions are met, and whatever is going on through your life is literally just a phase and he's got you covered. It's hard to minister to yourself sometimes. That's why you need a source you can always go back to. And for me, like I said, that's the word of God, because there are days where it's hard to remember who you are. It's hard to remember your teachings or what grounds you in the midst of turmoil. you know it's like if you're in a tournament, or like, for instance, like a karate tournament, and the other guy kicks you so hard you forget the discipline in your training. You literally just want to hit back. Sometimes life gives us such scenarios and situations where you get hit so hard, all you think about is wanting to hit back. You forget to be grounded in who you are. So yeah, today's message is centered around being vulnerable. It's okay to be vulnerable, but just remember that sometimes you are not enough to deal with your own vulnerability. You need another source. So maybe start thinking about what is your own source in terms of when you are actually feeling vulnerable. And don't just focus on putting on a mask for the outside world to seem strong when you're not feeling so strong. Come into the house and also fix how you feeling when you're alone. That's the one time where you need to dress up, when you're in the house, to get yourself up, to lift yourself up. So don't just make a mask for the world, but when you come in, as much as you're left bare naked with the truth, that's the one time you need to deal with the truth with an external source sometimes. So yeah, guys, have a good one. Thank you for watching. Keep sharing. You can share this, and keep subscribing. It's absolutely free. I'm not doing this for whatever gain. I'm just doing this to share what I experienced through my relationship with God. But yeah, It's okay to be vulnerable, guys. It's okay. I'm not saying show the world that you're weak or however we perceive vulnerability, but it's okay to dress up when you go out, but don't be in a rush to dress down when you come in if you don't have a source. Find a source that will be able to sustain you when you can't sustain yourself in the midst of your vulnerability. Cheers, guys.